On the super review, we're going to take a look at the T2 in-ear monitors by Tin Audio. So big surprise, I've got another pair of budget audiophile friendly headphones. This one's a little bit different. This is the first pair of in-ear monitor headphones I've bought. I can't tell if this is a super new model, but it feels like it's a super new model, a pretty new model. Just because I've been seeing it all over like audiophile and headphone subreddits lately, that people seem to like this headphone. And it doesn't cost that much. It's only about 50 bucks on Amazon, or maybe 40 bucks on AliExpress if you want to buy it there. You know, that's cheap enough that I'd figure I'd give it a shot. So let's go ahead and open it up and I will give it a listening test. I'll run it through my reference library of music and I'll let you know what I think. So we got the T2 by Tin Audio sitting here in a quaint little box. There's not much on it. This is very simple packaging. It's white all the way around. It's got the brand name on the front. It's got the model name on the front. It's got a barcode on the bottom. On the back, it's got a QR code. If you're into those, well, there you go. Go ahead and activate it. It says that it is made in the PRC, which is the People's Republic of China. But other than that, it does not tell you much about this headphone. You know, this is the sort of headphone where if you're buying this, you probably already know what you're getting. This is not the kind of box that is sitting on a store shelf and is trying to convince you that this is the headphone you should buy. This is the headphone for the person who knows what they're buying already. All right, let's go ahead and open it up. Well, it's not leather, but that is much nicer than a box should be. All right, so what do you get in the box of the T2 by Tin Audio? You get a really nice unboxing experience. As you saw, this box that it comes in is much nicer than a box should be. This is the kind of box that I'm gonna feel bad about throwing it out, and maybe I'm not even gonna throw it out, so I'm gonna have to keep this thing around. Damn it, Tin Audio. Damn it for making such a nice box. Anyway, of course you get a little set of instructions. It's a pair of headphones, so I don't expect there to be too much. Okay, it's got a 12-month warranty. That's not too shabby. You also get a number of silicone tips. You get, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 6. You get 6 different sets of silicone tips. And apart from just being different sizes of tips, it actually seems like there's 3 different sizes, but 2 different styles. You can tell that some of these are, roughly the same size as far as, being for a large ear, but they have a different size hole in the center, which I expect might actually change the audio that comes out of the headphone. Now, these things do also come with a pair of foam tips that are pre-installed on the headphone. And frankly, I love the way that these look. I hope that these are my favorite ear tips, but it's possible I'll end up on one of these instead. And as is common with IEMs like this, in-ear monitor headphones, they come separate from the cable. So these are just 2 little earbuds and a cable with an MMCX connector, which should just plug straight in. Now the cable that it comes with is approximately 4 foot length. It's kind of a nice braided style. This is pretty fancy, frankly, for a $50 headphone. And it terminates in a little 3.5 millimeter jack. Not a big fan of the little faux carbon wrap here, but other than that, it's a really nice looking headphone. Frankly, as much as people said that these were a nice sounding headphone, half of the reason that I decided to go ahead and pick it up was just because I like the way it looks, and it's not that expensive. So not that expensive, people like it, people like the way it sounds, I like the way it looks. Here it is on my table. But yeah, that is about as much as I can tell you about this headphone. until I give it a listening test. So let's bring in the Walkman, let's hook it up, let's run it through the ringer, let's put it through the ringer, let's run it through my test, hit it with those reference tracks, and I'll let you know how it sounds. All right, I've just got done listening to the T2s with a bunch of different music, from Michael Jackson to De La Soul to Gramatik, Chvrches, a lot of different types of music. And these things sound great with all of it. If I were to describe the sound of these headphones, I'd say it's fairly neutral, right? With the mids are actually really quite present. You know, I wouldn't say it's a bright headphone, but the highs are pretty good. The highs are pretty sharp without being grating or shrill at all. The bass is there. There's actually plenty of bass, but they're not like a really strong bass headphone, if that's what you're into. You know, like a lot of these cheap Bluetooth earbuds that I was listening to earlier, those have a lot of emphasized bass, and it's a lot of fun, but it's clearly emphasized. These don't have that emphasized bass, but what bass there is, very good quality, very sharp, very punchy. I dig it. But yeah, really, these are really all about the mids. You know, the vocals in your music are gonna sound really great through these. Other nice things I can say about the T2 is the build quality is quite nice. You know, these things right here, these little things that go in your ear, the earbuds themselves, they're made out of an all metal housing as far as I can tell. Yeah, it's an all metal housing. Listen to this. So it's an all metal housing, comes with a pretty nice cable. In fact, I love this cable except for the end, the terminal end, okay? It's a little bit ugly, I mentioned that before. I can get over that. It's a little bit sensitive inside of the headphone jack. Like if it gets twisted a little bit, you can hear a little bit of sound come through on the headphones. It just feels like it's a little bit easily disrupted, but it's not a big deal, and it's not like super sensitive. It's just a little bit more sensitive than I like. And then as far as comfort, I had no issues with these. You know, I'm not super used to IEMs. I do have the Bluetooth earbuds that are all in-ear monitor sort type of fit. So I guess I'm used to those, and these were very, very comfortable for me. You know, I used the foam tips. They crunched in, fit in my ear pretty well, and you know, you can wear these either hanging down like this, or you can pull them up and have the cable wrap around the back of your ear. I think I like having the cable wrap around the back of my ear just because it kind of holds it a little bit in place and takes some of the weight off of, you know, some of the weight of the cable off of the earphone itself. I think it's a nice way to wear it, and it's cool that it allows that flexibility. Sound isolation, at least here with these foam tips, was not extreme, but satisfactory sound isolation. I was able to carry on a conversation with my wife without taking these out of my ears, so you know, they're not blocking out all the sound, but you're not going to get that with just sort of a passive sound canceling, sound isolating headphone like this. On the flip side, I did have the volume up pretty loud, and I asked my wife if she could hear the music, and she said she didn't really hear anything. So no bleeding. If you're looking for the kind of headphone that you can blast, you can rock out to at the office, this might be a pretty good option. So if I were to rate the T2 by 10 hi-fi, I'm gonna give these things 5 stars out of 5. I think it is a great value. It's a great sounding headphone, even despite the price, right? But at 50 bucks, it's kind of a no-brainer. If you're into this kind of headphone, you're into a mid-forward sound, you know me, I tend to be into a mid-forward sound. If you're into that, you're looking for something, I can totally recommend the T2. If you're interested in picking up this headset, I do have a link to Amazon down below. You can also find it on AliExpress, and on AliExpress you can sometimes get it a little bit cheaper than it is on Amazon. You're just gonna have to wait probably like 4 to 6 weeks or so for shipping. While you're down there scrounging around for the link to these on Amazon, you can also hit the like button for the video. If you liked the video, you can subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next super review.